As we were putting this information together, it was suggested that I end my comments talking about a few subjects that came to play after the decision was made. One was, what was the committee really like? I've already said that it was a unique team. I have not participated in any or seen any committees that behaved like this committee did and had the end point in mind really from the very beginning. It was unique because we fit together in what I consider to be a unique way, and as I've already said, that uniqueness continued on through our 25th anniversary. There was constantly an intellectual debate going on as we learned what was going on, what was being supplied by the potential symbol proposers. And we went a great distance to explore all the technologies that were advanced. In some cases, we learned more about them than perhaps the proposers knew at the time of the proposal. What happened to us after the announcement on April 3rd of 1973? Well, some of us went on to continue to work in the area. People like Al Haberman, the chairman of the Symbol Selection Subcommittee, immediately joined the board of directors of the U.P.C. and made long-term contributions. Steve Brown stayed on as the counsel for the U.P.C. and in the longer run finally was employed by the U.P.C. as their counsel for many years. Others simply just kind of faded into the background. The main reunion was at the 25th anniversary at the Smithsonian, and I think about 5 or 6 of us were there for that anniversary. Additionally, some other projects needed to be undertaken. One was a group that would advise on technical issues in the longer run for the U.P.C. and that was the Symbol Technical Advisory Committee, or STAC as it was known, STAC, and they served a great use in helping to refine the standards that were being published at that time. Also, there was an issue of how coupons would be handled. I had a particular interest in that because I represented Procter & Gamble, and I was told from the very beginning that I should check to make sure how coupons would be handled in an automated system in the long run. Validation of coupons was very important to manufacturers. Don Lloyd was asked to head up a group that looked at coupons, and I worked for Don and developed what became number system number 5 with the family codes that helped to validate coupons against actual purchases. We also needed to have an administrative group, and out of the work of the second committee that we've already talked about, a company that was formed by the name of the Distribution Number Bank, or DNB, who had their offices in Alexandria, Virginia, was selected to be our company that did the administration of the U.P.C. and handed out the manufacturer numbers. Over time, it became obvious that this outside group could be effectively supplant it by bringing in the administration in-house and to actually have a company administrated the U.P.C. for the board. Dick Minlin, who was a member of the NCR group in Dayton, was selected as the first head of that organization. And as you might expect, it began as a two-person operation to hand out manufacturer numbers and to answer questions in Dayton. The two people were Dick Minlin and Sharon Fott, who was his secretary at NCR. We went to NCR and sought approval of their president at the time to hire Dick and receive that approval. And so the entire U.P.C. organization in the United States began with two people in Dayton, Ohio. It might be also interesting to talk about the length of the U.P.C. The actual U.P.C. that was selected and originally implemented consisted of 5 digits identifying the manufacturer in the United States and Canada, 5 digits that identified the product for that manufacturer, a final ending digit that was a numeric check digit, and a beginning digit that was the number system. As an example, for the coupons, it was number system 5. So when the scanner saw a symbology that began with the number 5, it knew it was a coupon. There were other ones in there, the National Drug Code, and we ended up using more than one set of 5 digits to identify manufacturers. This was because of the phenomenal growth of the U.P.C. Originally, we believed, looking at some of the information that was available from the government, that there would be about 4,000 to 5,000 manufacturer codes needed. This would cover everything that we knew that was currently going on in grocery. In fact, in rather short order, over 100,000 were needed, and so multiple number systems were used to identify manufacturers. So the total number of digits on the original U.P.C. was 12 digits. One number system code, 5 to identify manufacturer, and 5 to identify the product within the manufacturer, and 1 check digit. As we began to work with the European article numbering people, a 13th digit was added so that you could identify the individual countries as part of the EAN. Over time, there's been a large amount of effort to consolidate the entire international picture, and that somewhat culminated in 2005 when the U.P.C. organization joined the European organization, and the new organization in the United States was called GS1 US. So it had been a very healthy growth over time. That's kind of the addendum to the comments on the development of the U.P.C. by the Symbol Selection Committee. As I've already said, it was a very unique organization of people on that committee, very stimulating, and in the long run, the product lasted much longer than we believed it would last. Working with MIT, we thought the technology might last 25 years, and at that point in time, scanners would begin reading maybe the OCRB font that was for human readable purposes, or maybe there would be a much more effective symbology that could be used. We're now well past the 25-year mark. And as we are around 35 years, the symbol has had good legs over time. I've enjoyed telling my part of the story, and I hope you'll review the rest of what's available on the ID Museum and see what others have to tell about the U.P.C. Thanks for listening.